Michael, what's up? How's it going? We got a new knife to sharpen tonight, as well as clean and all that kind of stuff. Another ZT. It's one that you don't see too often either, because it didn't stick around very long before I think they discontinued it. Glad to hear it. Casey Anthony, what's up? I expect KC3 to show up here pretty soon, considering he's leaving comments on my old live streams right now. So I have ordered a new spring for this model, and that should show up in the next couple weeks. But until then, I would like to have it cleaned, which is what we're going to do now, and see if that helps with the action a little bit. How big what was? Funny. Oh yeah. This one requires a socket. Well, while we're in here, and I'd assume that this thing doesn't have a socket large enough for this. It has no sockets. We need a literal wrench to take this one apart. So to find out what size wrench, calipers. If the calipers are in here. It's a lot of money for a plain Sabenza. Oh. The calipers are in here. They're just under one of my largest stones. There is no way that I'm going to be able to say that properly, but how's it going? So it's 9.5 millimeters, or in inches. $373. So what is that, 3/8? It's 3/8. Okay. So I'll be back with a 3/8 ratchet. How rude. Sitting there saying L, 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 L. Couldn't say anything else. Well, that's weird. First knife I've ever seen to do that. Please be T8s. Oh yeah. T8s on all the rest of the hardware. That is a very large torsion bar. And a very, very, very large washer. I think that is the single largest washer I've ever seen on a knife. So, congratulations, ZT. You now hold a record on the channel, along with a regular washer. Now, how large is this washer here? Almost a full inch in diameter. 0.9 inches. Damn, that's a big washer. Okay. Okay. So first we're going to start off with cleaning that blade. Shit, I'm almost out of Q-tips. I'm probably going to run out before this knife is finished. I think I'm going to wipe it off with the, let's get all the small parts up. Then we'll wipe it off with the microfiber. Now we'll get down with the other stuff. So for anybody curious, this is a ZT 0300, not an 0350. The 0350 had over 58,000 models made. And I know with the 0300, there were at least 2,070 of them made. So I'm not going to say it's a super rare knife. However, I will say that it's far more rare than the smaller version of it. We'll clean that up here in a bit. As for this, there's a shit ton of dust on this. That's going to take something stronger than isopropyl alcohol. So with that being the case, we're going to get all the parts off of this, and then we're going to flip it over and start using some acetone on it. Oh, that came off easy. Okay. Holy shit, that stuff stinks. Well, geez, if I'm going to continue only having 2 people in here, I gotta at least have somebody to talk to. I don't even have all my regulars. I saw a couple of them, but I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention. I was pretty disappointed with the lineup, if I'm honest. Is there anything interesting that I should be looking out for, or... Oh, yeah, I saw the PM2 lightweight. You know what's funny is all the knife guys are saying, oh, what a waste. And I'm sitting there like, well, I think that it's a good idea that they should have done forever ago. There were a lot of people saying that the PM2 lightweight was a bad idea. And all I could say was, why? The Para 3 lightweight in S45 is like $50 less than the PM2 or than the Para 3 regular in G10. And there's aftermarket support when it comes to scales. You could get such a great knife when aftermarket support comes out for these things. You could have such a great knife for like $50 less. Yeah, I was waiting for you to show up. What's up, KC3? How's it going? I saw you making comments on an old live stream, and I was sitting there like, well, any minute now he's going to show up, and then 30 minutes later you show up. But yeah, I think once that PM2 lightweight gets the aftermarket support that the PM2 already has, if they use different scales, I'm not sure if they're going to use different liners or not. That's the big deal, is if they use the same liners, it already has the aftermarket support. But yeah, KC3, if I don't respond to a comment of yours in like 2 minutes, then I'm not live. That's the easiest way to tell if I'm live or not. Yeah, I'll respond in like 2 minutes. That's at the max. Chances are it'll actually take me less than 1 minute to notice that you commented, but at the very max, 2 minutes. Nope. Yeah, that was a letdown on the Para 3 lightweight. My hope is that it has steel liners on both sides. Because if it does, then it has washers on both sides. Especially if they use the same liners as the regular PM2, that thing's going to sell like hotcakes. I don't think that there will be a Spyderco knife that will sell faster than that one when that thing comes out. Okay, so we got a few parts finished. Yeah, if they can get it out for like 170, maybe 160, that's a killer deal. Bearings and washers that are functional? No. Not with both bearings and washers being functional. I have seen some with some washer inserts that prevent damage to titanium scales. Other than that, I've never seen both together. One of my knives has a bearing on one side and a washer on the other because the cage for the bearings on one side broke and one of the bearing balls fell out, so I just replaced that side with a Kershaw leak washer. And it fit, so there you go. It's the first time I've ever had a caged bearing fail. Now, don't get me wrong, I knew it failed before I opened it up, but I didn't expect the ball to fall out. Well, that cleaned up nicely very quickly. One thing I'm glad I don't own is a knife with free-floating ball bearings where it doesn't have a cage. I know Shirogorov has at least one model like that. It's like a $650 knife, and if you open it up and one of the ball bearings goes missing, you're screwed. So Skiff, all of their washer replacements they have to be a 1/2 millimeter or thicker, or else he won't do them. I've talked to him about it. I wanted a custom batch made, and he said that he wouldn't do it for less than 75 pieces at a time, first of all. Azreft, what's up? So it was a minimum of 70 pieces to the order, or 75 pieces to the order. And they had to be that thick or thicker. And a 1/2 millimeter is thicker than almost any washer I think I've ever seen. It was a lot. Oh no, his minimum was 1 millimeter, not 1/2 millimeter. Sorry. I was like, 1/2 millimeter sounds normal. No, it is normal. He won't do thinner than 1 millimeter, which is thick. I think the whole order started at like 300 or something dollars. So this ZT will be up for sale here in a couple weeks. I've ordered a new torsion bar for it because the torsion bar that it has needs replaced. I called them up, made sure that they had torsion bars for it before I bought it, so it was a lot. I don't remember a whole lot. I just remember that it was like quite an investment. Ground fog, what's up? No, it's acetone. It's too small of a jar to be moonshine. There we go. Yes, it evaporates very quickly, faster than isopropyl alcohol does. Cool. Time to put it back together. And we'll see if after all that the spring works better now. Hopefully. Stan, what's up? What do you mean, of course? I don't even spend more than $100 a month. Yeah, I don't spend a whole lot because I'm broke. So if I continue to act broke, maybe one of these days I won't be broke. Right? Look, I'm hoping that's how it works, man. Okay. Now we grab these two and a T8. The tools on the table don't cost more than 50. Well, it works better now than it did anyway, so that's good. Need to clean another spot. Yep, that looked good. Loosen up the pivot a little bit. Yep, definitely needs that new needs that new spring in it. And once it has the new spring, I'll put some grease in there so I don't have to clean it out again. I don't think I've seen a single one of the new ZT knives that I'm interested in. Once upon a time, ZT used to make extremely overbuilt knives. Like these. And every model that they released last year, except for I think the 308, was dainty. The bones of this company were, we make knives for military members, for you to use them and abuse them. And then now it's just none of that. This thing cut paper anyway. Now, I'm not saying that ZT shouldn't make new stuff, but what I am saying is they should go back to their roots. The 0350 hasn't changed in, what, a decade? Couldn't give it maybe a better steel since it's over 10 years old. I think the 350 was one of the... No, maybe it's not 10 years old. It's old, though. I was thinking about it, and I'm like, ZT hasn't even been around that long. I think ZT started in like 2014. And I don't think that the 0350 was one of their first models. Because this one was. I just want more full tie knives. You know? ZT Hinderer collabs with full tie in the $200 something range. Never heard of either of those. Oh. I don't have anything from either of those companies. You'd think I would. I don't. Well, see, Knives, I guess, here, that just hopped in, was supposed to send me a Shapton. Or not a Shapton. Never mind. What was that? I gotta start picking on him for it, though. I've been heavily debating on getting a Shapton 5K, though. Sharple, yeah. I need to step up to a 30K, and I don't have the steps to get there yet. God, I hate sharpening these things. Yeah, and I don't have $300. Well, if $300 isn't enough incentive, then I definitely don't think I'll be sending out a Sebenza for you to check out. So, we've got all the kinks figured out on the IGS. You excited about that? I pre-ordered a deep carry wire clip for it too. So here's a small one. It took 30 minutes for me to figure out how much longer that backspacer needed to be. Well, this isn't as bad at sharpening as I thought it was going to be. Oh, did they come out with your design without like the same design basically? Oh yeah. I didn't like that one. You can still do that. I definitely didn't enjoy the whole middleman thing though. Like, don't get me wrong, it was fun to have a design that's coming out at least with prototypes, but it's a lot more fun making all the decisions. No, I have not. I don't pay attention to that company. Not because I don't want anything from them, just because I'm paying attention to other things. Oh, and I almost have my first design all wrapped up. Yeah. Speaking of which, I need to talk to you about numbers on that. We need to talk to them about numbers on that too. I have a number that I'd like, but I'm working on my own project, so I'll show you guys where it's at now. Oh, never mind. Oh, yeah, I did send pictures. Okay. Yeah, I'll show you guys where my project is sitting at now. Here in just a minute. I gotta send a message to somebody and then Okay. That's kind of high. I mean, you can see if they're interested in that though. I mean, we need to talk to it about we need to talk about it at some point. So here is what mine looks like. So I'm working up, getting onto the final iterations of it. Should be fun. Wish getting this stuff done wasn't so damn expensive. But it's the cost of quality. Okay. Yeah, it's about how I wanted that blade to be. I spent the last couple hours today trying to figure out what about the blade I didn't like with my last iteration of it. Now, I don't think that I'll be sharing that model publicly or showing anybody else that one until everything's all said and done. It should be decently strong, but I mean, it's going to be, the blade's thinner than a Sebenza blade, so you know, I don't know. We'll see. I have the big brother of the knife that Knives I Guess wants right here. I am definitely cutting a rock. At least that's the plan anyway. It's not going out great. No, this is a ZT 0300. But yeah, I'm sure you'll get one of those one of these days. And I doubt it's going to be discontinued anytime soon. Went into my local knife shop and they had serial number 58,000 something. Of the 350. Believe it or not, this rock was a rectangle when I got it. I'm more surprised that it's still a rectangle with all the non-rectangular stuff that I've done to it. Oh, I'm not enjoying that. No. This one I found at a pawn shop. This one's number 2070. But yeah, that 350 that I saw today, serial number 58,700 something. There are tens of thousands of them out there. It's no wonder you can get them so cheap. These, though, this model sells for up to like $600. The problem is it's not new, so being that it's not new, it's going to take a while to get it cleaned up enough to sell it. And I'm probably going to try and get like 300 out of it. I paid more than I wanted to, unfortunately. So here for a few minutes, we're going to sharpen some of the larger knives. And then I'm going to go ahead and end the stream after that. Okay. This thing doesn't cut great right now. It needs thoroughly cleaned. Yeah, it's definitely a chopper of some sort. Mystery steel. I have absolutely zero clue what steel this is. Well, it's a Damascus of some sort. However, I don't know the quality of the Damascus. And if it was Japanese blue steel, it would be put all over it. Trust me, the people that use that stuff are very proud of it. If you want to just stick it in the freezer. Nope. I have never been to a chopping contest. I don't think I could ever purposefully treat a knife that way. It's just horrible to watch. Don't get me wrong. It's impressive what those guys do, but... And I know that they're built for it. Oh, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. Need to work on these things more. Yeah, I can't continue doing the 4-hour streams because it ruins my sleep schedule. So 1.5 hours is typically pretty good. The streams do better when I start at 8 p.m. than they do when I start at 9, like I did today. So it is what it is. I mean, I can sit around for a bit, but I'm not going to continue sharpening because repeated actions cause muscle fatigue in my hands. Specifically right here because I'm pushing down on these 2 fingers. So right down here it hurts. I'm not sure if I'll be streaming tomorrow, but we'll find out. But yeah, if you just join a stream and you say, hey KO, or you say what's up or something like that, if I don't respond within 2 minutes, I'm not live. I got soft hands, man. Plus, I just went out shooting yesterday, and that 357 did not agree with my hand right here. A neighboring lane had a 357 that they didn't know how to sight in. So I sighted that thing in and I think I went through 10 rounds. Maybe 11, but pretty good for something that was like, oh no, it just, the way that the handle was shaped, it didn't have a good curve to it where your right here would sit nicely in. So I had to hold it in a way that was like this, and it came back and smacked me right here every time. So right here is kind of tender right now. It hurt more this morning than it did, or than it does now, but I cut cardboard faster than you. So my cardboard streams aren't as long as yours. Am I a gun guy? If they weren't so damn expensive, I would be. I'll continue sitting here and talking for a bit. I just can't continue sharpening. But we'll see you later, KC3. You have a good one. I'm looking into getting an aftermarket stock for my Mark II, and then maybe a suppressor for it. The problem is the stock for the Mark II is $450, and the gun itself was $250. So I'm finding it hard to give myself an excuse to spend $450 on a $250 gun. Like my whole build the way it was, and yeah, you're fine to fall asleep during the stream or whatever, I don't really care. Doesn't change anything to me. A lot of people do that. Aiden does that. Apparently I put him to sleep pretty dang quickly. I mean, how do you justify... I mean, there's no real point in justifying it. The problem is the gun's comfortable the way it is. I just want it to be a little bit lighter than it is. And I'm not sure that that aftermarket stock is any lighter than the one that I have now. Plus, then I'd need to buy a new stock for it, and then I'd need to buy an AR grip of some sort to fit that thing, along with M-lock, bipod, and like at that point the whole build's going to be $1,000 when right now it's sub 450. I'm doing fine. How about yourself? I don't think I will ever own a Glock. They remind me of Legos, and I don't need a gun that reminds me of Legos. Don't get me wrong, I need to get better with pistols, but I don't think that a Glock is going to be for me. I'm looking into getting a Bodyguard 2.0 in 380. Maybe I can carry that and it won't pull my pants down. Oh, just wear a belt. My pants don't have belt loops. Oh, then wear some real man's pants. Fuck off. My pants are comfortable. Well, all I can say is turn your volume up. A lot of older people that I meet don't hear me very well because of my tone of voice. And being that I'm not alone in this house, no, I'm sorry. That sucks, dude. But yeah, that's my tone of voice. It's just always like that. Everybody that I meet with hearing aids can barely hear me. And that sucks to see, you know. Grandparents, go to talk to my grandparents and they can't hear shit out of me. But what is there to do about it? Yeah, headphones is an option. I haven't tried that. I'm not very tech savvy though. Partially because I'm broke and I act like it. Well, the problem is the knives that I'm buying to resell. So, Pocket Privilege, what's up? Not all of them are up for sale, but like a good chunk of my collection was bought to resell. Nope, I'm selling the knife or selling the knives to buy more knives, to sell those knives to buy more knives until I can afford to start a knife company. So far, I think we're 1% of the way there now. We were 2.5%, but because I'm always buying and selling stuff. Frank, what's up? Frank, is there a knife that I talked to you about that you were wanting? Okay, so there wasn't anything else that you were looking for? Chavez doesn't ring a bell or anything? If not, then I gotta find out who that person was. Well, my thing is, I want a knife company where I'm releasing my designs. Okay. And at the moment, I need minimum $20,000. So that's what buying and selling the knives goes towards. if you buy a knife from me, that is what you are helping, is me starting a knife company. And that sucks because I was hoping it was you. Well, that means I need to go through all my old emails and reach out to everybody and say, I'm sure it is hard to break into, especially when your first model is going to spend or going to cost more than $450. Thing is, I need 2 prototypes made, and if everything goes well, each of those will be $2,000. I'll take prototype number 1 and leave it the way it is. And then prototype number 2, I will use it how I would use it, then hand it off to my dad and have him use it how he would use it. And if there's any issues or anything, we get them resolved before we move on to production. How long that prototype phase is going to take? No clue. Well, I'm having them made by the company who's going to make the production pieces too. So probably Magna Cut. It depends. It depends on what the hot steel at the moment is, but I want to have all the kinks and stuff figured out. And I don't think we're going with Magnamax because I don't think that stuff's going to be tough enough. Well, that's what everybody uses at the moment, so I don't want to work with Tops. They're too far away. The company I want to work with makes stuff like 45 minutes away, so I could just pop by when I feel like it and say, hey, how's production going? It'd be really funny if I worked there while making my own stuff. And then they pay me to make the shit that's going to me. That'd be really funny. I'm working on the 3D modeling. I keep track of how many hours. Let me go check how many hours I'm at on that model. I'm 67 hours in on CAD. I have rebuilt the insides of it twice, redone the blade twice, redone the scales 3 times. Lock bar insert I did once and then redid today. I need to redo the backspacer if it's going to have a backspacer. And then I need to have somebody else do the pocket clip for me because I don't know how to model that. Because I'm just going with the Sebenza pocket clip to make it easy. That way all of the aftermarket support that the Sebenza has, pocket clip wise, will fit onto this design. Thinking ahead a little bit. I'm sure it'll go well. I'm looking forward to it. Eagle Scout, what's up? No, that's a full size. At least I'd assume it's a full size. It's got about a 3 3/4 inch blade. I don't know if I'd call that mini, personally. Go ahead and swap that pair 3 out for that. It's unfortunate because I already have this thing called for. And it's supposed to be purchased next week. Speaking of, I need to put that that other one. For the Benchmade Loco. We should swap out something else real quick. For that ZT300 that I need to get rid of. I need to wait for that spring for it to show up first, so if somebody wants it, it's going to be a bit. It also needs sharpened. Yeah, it's a 940 in carbon. Palmer, what's up? Think Knives, I guess, fell asleep. It'd be hilarious if I just started whispering his name until he woke up. So how's the whole watch thing going? I'd assume well. Pretty decent. Good. Glad to hear it. So where's my Rolex at? I doubt you'll find what I'm looking for a decent price, to be honest, so. To be fair, decent price does not mean within my budget. Damn, that hand looks fat under the camera. It looks nothing like that in person. Oh, damn, I need to shit, that sucks. I need to redesign the tang of that design that I'm coming out with. Fuck. I got everything else to work on it. And I completely forgot that for these things to be smooth, the detent ball has to ride on something. I have a question for you wonderful people out there. When I start that knife company, should I leave this channel the way it is and start a new channel for the knife company? Or should I turn this channel into the knife company's channel? Now, I already have an idea of what I want to do, but I want your guys' opinion on this, even though there's only 5 of you in here. I'm curious what you guys think. This one into the new one. Interesting choice. Thing is, if I do that, you guys likely won't be getting the content that you used to get. All the content on this channel will probably be about that company. Abdullah, what's up? Welcome back. You missed me sharpening knives again. I don't know. People didn't follow this channel. I'm going to be honest. The original motto of this channel was proving money isn't everything. And when the new knife drops, that knife is expensive as fuck. And it goes completely against what this channel was all about to begin with. Yeah, I don't live stream daily like I used to. I find it tiring, especially when I go longer than I should, which is almost every time. Where I plan to live stream for like an hour and I end up live streaming for 5. It really wears you out, and then I'm still not tired. I just have nothing more to say, so I end the stream. Speaking of, I think we'll probably end the stream here in about 4 minutes. So I was leaning towards making a new channel for that knife company. That way I can continue doing my own stuff, but I can also have a company channel. Pay me $700 and I'll give you some. I don't want Target gift cards. What the hell am I going to buy in Target? So yeah, I heard about Target does not sell knives. Ask me how I know. Toys R Us isn't even around anymore. No, I'm not uploading constantly. I don't upload constantly on here. I mean, it'll probably increase my workload, but I think I'm just going to do like one video a week or something. One short form video a week on that one. What about DHgate? I know what that is. No. That's the cheap way of doing it. I'd rather have them made here in America and leave it at that. I don't think I've ever been overly impressed with anything on DHgate. Short of the one up here, every one of these on the table is made in the US. What's surprising about it? This one was made in... I can't tell. This one's an Emerson, 0 tolerance, 3 Benchmades. They're all production. All right, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream there. I do appreciate you guys watching, and hopefully you have a great rest of your night, day, morning, whatever it is. See you in the next one.